Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy GDP backwards looking from first quarter. It seems like so long ago. That was January, February, March, and we're still revising data. I know, I know. But you know what one of my favorite things is? I'll tell you in 1 second. Good morning, John. Good morning, Patrick. One of my favorite things is it's like, where's Waldo? It's finding Sterling's good morning. He puts in all the news. He's got the wholesale inventories, he's got jobless claims, he's got GDP, he's got everything. Where's his good morning? And it's right in the middle here. You got to search for it. You got to find Waldo. It's one of my favorite things every morning. Making sure he says good morning. Hey, thanks you for that Coinbase. I missed that one, Sterling. Thank you. Sue in the SEC. All right, we'll go through all those numbers in a second. Good morning, Martinez. It's more important to say good morning. There's just not much going on in the markets today. We have more important the PCE numbers tomorrow, and there was nothing shocking. Yeah, jobless claims are rising slowly, looking to break out to the upside. GDP revised for the final revision slightly better, 1.4 versus 1.3. Ooh, it's nothing to talk about. With all this government spending, with all this massive. What are we gonna? They're projecting for this year 1.9 trillion. 1.9 trillion, and all we can muster is that. That's in a sad state of affairs. A sad state of affairs, I'll tell you. Boy, what happens if we're forced to stop spending because it's out of control? Then what's going to happen? Woof. All right. All right. I still say it's all overrated. It's good for some key tasks, but you really have to double check the AI work. I'm seeing more and more people say that too out there. I mean, you can ask it what 10 times 8 is. Richard, hey, good morning. Good morning, Ted. Good morning, Royal Palms. The quality shot for everyone? You want to look at Chipotle? Okay, just remind me. Is the mic in low resolution? Huh. Mic in low resolution. Well, you don't want to see me in high resolution, but are the charts okay? Are the charts, can you see the numbers? Or is everything in low resolution? Is everything in low resolution? Or is it just me? Good morning, Eric. Mike is in low res, but how are the charts? All right, let's see. Let's see here. All right. But does this work? See, stuff. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. How does the duck look? How does the duck look? Low res mic. Well, I guess that's the way it's going to be because I'm not restarting it. Everything's in low res. Oh, no. Huh. Just double checking everything. Well, at least Coco's in here with the new all-time high. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it's not a replacement. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too, Legion Reaver. The duck looks drunk. Well, do you think we can make it through the live stream like with this quality? Good morning, Jacob. Or do I need to restart? Because that's just a pain in the butt. Oh, okay. All right. We're going to try to get through this. Sorry. I don't know why. I don't know why it's set up right. I just double checked everything. Hey, Christoph. Good day. Hey, Charles. All right. Sorry for that interruption. I'll double check it after I'm done with this live stream, make sure everything's set up okay. And I'll reset the wireless internet after the stream. Really, there's nothing shocking with GDP. Just jobless claims keep climbing. They were a little better than expected, but they just keep slowly climbing. Wholesale inventories coming in month over month. Advanced numbers coming in much stronger. Retail inventories coming in. Ex autos coming in flat. So again, the PCE numbers from the final PCE numbers were 3.4 for a headline, and the core PCE coming in 3.7. But again, that's the backwards looking. Tomorrow numbers are more important. We got pending home sales. The yesterday new home sales information was not good. Also, the new median price for new home sales is less, that has dropped below existing home sales. That's very interesting. Again, we have a glut of new home inventory, and yet it's competing with people trying to sell their existing home that are still priced way too high. What else do we have? We have Kansas City Fed, composite manufacturing. We got some 4-week and 8-week bill auctions. But tomorrow morning, remember, that's your PCE numbers. That's the ones for May. And then we got consumer sentiment numbers and inflation expectations. So tomorrow is the big day of the week, the biggest day, since there were no shocks today. We got chips pulling back. Micron was a beat, but people did not like the guidance, and everything else down about 4.6%. Nvidia also pulling back. You got some Visa, MasterCard pulling back also. What else do we have? I mean, you got Apple after hitting the first target on the double might invalidate the rest of it today. We've got energy, the sector leading. Very interesting with crude basing at the recent highs. So still a sideways correction, shrugging off yesterday's build with the EIA numbers. Energy, basic materials, technology, but the market's really pretty flat mixed besides energy this morning. CME Fed Watch, I doubt this changed much with the GDP numbers. I need to refresh it. We should still be with the 58% for the cut in September. The cut in September. Fear and greed still in fear mode. So, I already talked about Micron yesterday. We had, Walgreens Boots beat on revenue, missed on EPS, but that stock is just in the toilet. Today after close, you got Nike, and that's really about it. Unless you're in a bowling. Bowling and mediocre food, Pinstripes this afternoon. I used to live near, not too far from our Pinstripes. So, not anymore. Not anymore. All right. There's the chart, Ted. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. I mean, everything's streaming correctly. I'll reset everything. Sorry about that. It's obvious, huh, Coco? All right, stream's better now. Sharpened image, just like that. Wow, okay. I'm glad I didn't do anything. It's the magic of the internet. Maybe it's the AI. Maybe AI is helping it. I'm still trying to get some more caffeine in me. I've just been tired the last few days. I will be glad once tomorrow morning's over. So, not much has changed from my perspective. Not much has changed. Very choppy day yesterday. My key resistance area in the S&P is 55.50 to about 55.51. We break through there, it's 55.59. It'll be interesting to see if we did close above that, because that would shift the short-term probabilities for a retest of the highs. Very key support coming in at 55.20. And then you have another support base at 55.10. So, it's from my perspective, unless we get tick running in one direction and we can start really trending above 55.50 which would be key resistance, It's sell the resistance, buy the support unless something really shifts with momentum or the tick, especially with PCE coming out tomorrow. So we got 55, 59, and then I'm just using harmonics up to, if it goes above there, 55, 68, 55, 78 to the downside. Below 55.10, 55.07 to 55.10 is very key. Below that, it's about 54.93 is next key support. In terms of the NASDAQ, I have the support and resistance retracement on here about 19.9, 19.8, sorry, 19.890, 19.9 is very key support. Key resistance is 20,025 area. Above there is 20,070. And then if we flip these around, if we manage a breakout, the cocoa to all-time highs, we really need to start getting above 20,129 on a closing basis, even intraday. We watch to see if it does rally for a 1 or 4 hour close above there. Next level is 20,209. There's not much to talk about. Not much has changed since yesterday. Again, not much to talk about even in the Dow. The Dow, your major support is 39,160. Major resistance is 39,950. Markets are boring right now. 2027 still key support. 2028 actually, and then about 2053 to 2058 is key resistance. There's not a good setup either in the Russell. A lot of stuff will change tomorrow. After tomorrow, and since Coco thinks his PCEs are a no-brainer, they're going to drop, and they may drop, but are they going to drop enough to satisfy the market? Because I think next month's PCEs are going to be real interesting, especially with crude back up and gas up slightly. The VIX, not much to talk about here, actually dropping into the PCE numbers. So the market's shrugging off any volatility ahead of tomorrow. The DAX confirmed but did not trigger the little mini double. Confirmed but did not trigger it. You can see here, spiked into it. Only on the 1 hour and then sharp reversal. But I was talking about you need at least a 4 hour here and nothing to talk about. So still key resistance, 18,525. Support area. The minor support's 18,300. Major support's about 18,250. Notes start to rally up after the GDP numbers. So maybe the notes are going to shrug off and the yields are going to drop into tomorrow's PCE numbers. We'll have to see. You see the yields pulling back into the key support area about 4.27. 4.27. Dollar index pulling back. Not yet hitting that 87.5. Key support near yesterday's low. Right around 105.20. Will be interesting though if it stops its pullback. 105.40 is going to be the key area I'm watching on a closing basis. Crude, still, this is what I'm talking about. Rising rotation zone, sideways correction. Working off the short-term overbought with cycles heading down, getting closer to possibly triggering a bottom. I am really going to be watching crude to see if it breaks out to the upside. Minor level is 83. Next key harmonic is 83.85. But this is a sideways basing above prior resistance becoming support, rising rotation zone. So unless something drastically changes, watching for the breakout. Watching for the breakout. Gold, still holding the recent support area, but there's no great setups here ahead of PCE tomorrow. Silver dipped to new recent lows yesterday, but bouncing up today. Could be it's already through yesterday's high, so this will be interesting to see where it closes, but it's already hit the target for any percent B buy. The yen breaking out to 38-year highs, I think it is, somewhere right around there. Little pullback today. They're still trying to talk the yen, strengthen the yen through jawboning, but it's just not working. Prior support is now the recent highs, the prior recent highs. So we're going to have to see if they want to really attempt another intervention, which didn't last long at all. They've sort of led the markets to believe they're willing to do it, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet. Euro, again, we have a triple bottom, declining rotation zone. Got some strength in the euro with dollar weakness today after the GDP numbers, but we'll see tomorrow. Again, there's just not a lot of good setups. This is where I don't personally force trading. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we've come off of daily cycle bottoms out of oversold condition, but so far a sideways correction. So I'm keeping an eye on 60,250, or from a continued bounce mode, 62,300. Otherwise, there's not a lot of good setups there either. Just not a lot of good setups. Spiders, what are the key levels today? So 545.50. Yes, we're trading right at yesterday's close. Your key resistance 546.30, and then on a closing basis, you're watching 547.24 to the upside. Support. Your support levels, I'm just going to be using the harmonics, roughly about 543.35 and about 542.75. The Qs, trading roughly in line with the close yesterday. Again, 480.33 is a 50% harmonic. Then we have 481.96 to watch on the closing basis and 483.58. Support levels coming in at Monday's open price and yesterday's low, about 478.20. Then we got 477 and 475.50 to 475.90. What do we want? We had CMG. CMG. Where is this thing? I'm just curious now. That can't be right. It's not trading it at 2.72 P/E. Huh. Oh yeah, we had the split, that's right. But they didn't adjust that. So, with the shares. What's the next key stuff for Chipotle? Got some divergences up here. Chipotle is looking tired. But is there any major sell signal? No. There's no double. There's just waning momentum. But unless this thing can really start dropping below 60 bucks, the trend is still up with waning momentum, even on pullbacks. That's it. For new positions, unless it was very short-term trading, would not be chasing it here. This is just not a great chart from saying, okay, there's no immediate sell. From a trailing perspective, I'd be watching 60 bucks right now. If it manages a breakout in the short term, your key level on a closing basis is 66.82 to shift the probabilities back up, trading 66.25. So I'd be watching that level today for that would trigger a possible retest of the highs. And if it keeps marching on with the breakout, there you go. The next major target would be 73.50. The reverse harmonics, 70.89 on a breakout in the short term. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA still 129.40 to 132.50 is the rollover zone. If it can't even get to that, we break below the lows. There's a fair amount of weakness then in NVIDIA, and I'll start watching more significantly for the bigger pullback because it couldn't even get to the bounce zone yet. We'll have to see how that plays out tomorrow. By the way, the Sox, not the horrible Chicago White Sox, but the semiconductor index, keep a really strong eye on about 53.81. You got some very key support that's been tested multiple times. You can even go to 53.65, 53.62. If it starts breaking there, the run on the semis, you got some major divergences setting up. Weekly cycles at the top. We can start to see the bigger pullback. The key line to stand for me is 48.52. I'm keeping a very close eye on the semiconductor index, especially now that Mike runs out of the way. In the short term, this will be interesting in the short term because it did qualify for a double. So in the short term, so I want to see where this maps out to with the harmonics. I'm actually really interested in the semiconductor index. And look at that, the final target right at that 62.5. So 53.61 will be interesting to see if it can get enough of a bounce or if this doesn't even trigger. But that's for that. AAP looking to roll over. Advanced Auto Parts. Yeah, triple bottom there with key support. So it'll bounce in the rotation zone, coming back down. We've closed below the 62.5 a couple times now. The magnet price to there is still this 52.60 area. So I'd be watching for the lower prices in AAP. I completely agree, Jake. My bit rate should be good still. I'm on a dedicated now. It's still running over 20 megabits upload. A lot of people trade Chipotle Coco. You like their food, but not the stock. You don't have to trade the stock, but a lot of people like to trade Chipotle. I'm sorry, there's just not much to talk about. Here was Apple. Keeping an eye hitting that into the rotation zone, hitting the first target, and then bouncing up. Apple, 215.10 on a closing basis would invalidate, or a trade through today, 216.18 would invalidate the rest of the mini double. This might be turning into a bigger double, but the market does not want to give up. So with that, again, so I will talk to everyone later. There's not much to talk about today. I'll see you tomorrow after the PCE numbers. Again, I'm not doing anything stupid today because tomorrow we could have some volatility. If they come in better than expected, we could then break, and I agree, we could go break to new highs. We will see. Yeah, we got the debate tonight. You got the debate between the two old farts. So we shall see. We shall see how that turns out too. With that, I shall talk to everyone later. Bye for now.